Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome to the Umbrella Academy. I mentioned on Twitter that I would indeed be reacting to this show, and I've been really looking forward to it. I think I spent all of June, I believe it was all of June, or at least half of June, because I got through it fairly quickly. Half of June binging this series. As soon as I saw that, saw and remembered that season two was coming out, I was like, you know what? I actually might just check out this show, see what it's like. And it was super fun. It was a super fun show. I really loved it. I knew about half of the actors going in. I'd seen them in other stuff before, like Robert Sheehan, Ellen Page, Tom Hopper. Is it Hopper or Hooper? And I believe it's Hopper. I believe it's Hopper. Hooper sounds wrong. I believe it's Hopper. But yeah, I'd already seen them in other stuff before, so I really enjoyed their work. And the Umbrella Academy, I think I'd seen the trailer a couple of times when it first came out. And it seemed like a fun little sci-fi comedy drama type thing. And going into it, it was interesting. It was interesting. Just meeting all the different characters and seeing what the story was like, and it was a fun ride. It was a fun ride. So season two, when that was announced, I was like, you know what, I actually want to react to this. So then I decided to actually check out season one, and yeah, like I said, it was a fun ride. So season two, the way season one ended, it definitely left the doors open for a season two. Definitely, I was wondering if it was that kind of show, if it actually ended on a cliffhanger, or if they just resolved everything but still left new possibilities open. But no, the way they ended season one, we need some questions answered. We need some questions answered. But the characters, I don't know what their numbers are because they are numbered. They are numbered children. But the characters are Vanya or Vanya, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Allison, Luther, Diego, Klaus, Five, and Ben. The very latter of whom, is dead and can only communicate through Klaus. But yeah, all these characters are amazing. All these characters are amazing in their own way. They're really fun to watch, both individually and when they're together. They all really bounce off one another. And I think it definitely helps having seen most of these guys in prior stuff too, just seeing how they are. So yeah, but the way they ended, Vanya was revealed to actually have powers in the end. She actually was revealed to have powers, and her powers would bring about the apocalypse, the end of the world that Five foresaw right at the beginning of the season. So yeah, I don't know if it was exactly in the way he did see it, because I don't know if he actually mentioned how it happened, just the fact that it did happen and that it would happen very soon. But the way it happened in that was, she was about to unleash her waves, but then Allison distracted her with a gunshot, and then her waves went and hit the moon, and then a massive chunk of the moon came flying out, and then that crashed into the earth, and everything was kablamming and stuff. So that happened, and then Five came up with the solution of traveling back in time. But based on what we saw in the trailer for season two, the end of the world went back with them. They literally took the apocalypse back in time with them. So that is going to be an interesting thing to explore. But we saw a bunch of other stuff in the trailer for season two. We saw a bunch of other characters and other things that are going to be happening. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they blend into the past. I don't know how far back they went. Like if it's like 90s, 80s, 70s, wherever. But however far back it is, it's going to be interesting to see how they actually blend into the past and how they actually prevent the apocalypse happening decades earlier. But we'll see. We'll see. That is that. And I think for their powers seem somewhat unconventional too. Like not really what you'd usually see. Like Allison has the power of rumors. Like she whispers stuff in your ear and makes you do it. Klaus can contact the dead, which isn't too far off from a superpower. Ben is dead and can use his stuff through him. We saw in the finale that he actually did use his tentacle powers through Klaus to take out the agency dudes. So that was cool. Five is a teleporter turned time traveler. He jumped ahead and got too far ahead of himself and discovered the fate of the future. Luther is he had super strength, and then he got turned into an ape. And then he got turned into an ape. His dad, Reginald, turned him into an ape as a cure for his injuries. So he's now a man ape, I guess is pretty accurate. Diego is super sharp, so he's really good with knives. He can curl them and dodge them and catch them, and he's got some good hand-to-hand combat too, so that's fun. And then yeah, and then thingy Vanya had somewhat the more troublesome upbringing, given that she was, constantly reinforced by Reginald that, she had no powers whatsoever. She had no abilities, and they used medication to dampen her powers and stuff, and, stuff went downhill for her from there. She grew up thinking she was the ordinary one in a family full of superpowers and whatnot, so in the end she went full on vengeance mode after discovering who she really was, and then brought about the apocalypse. And yeah, so I think her powers, I think they have to be to do with vibration, because they were definitely amplified when she was playing her violin. So yeah, I don't know how that works or how that goes, but yeah, it's Ellen Page. So anything with Ellen Page in it, I am more than happy to see. Anything with Ellen Page, and the other actors too that I mentioned at the beginning. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've been talking for long enough. Just really want to get into the season. So yeah, season 2, episode 1 of the Umbrella Academy. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty my type, but I have to see him from the shoulders down.
You idiot.
Oh, yeah.
See from the shoulders down. 1960. Oh, okay. They're in the 60s. Oh, damn. And she can't talk. Oh, no. Oh, the 60s are a bad time. The 60s are a very bad time. 63, okay. Who's the guy photographing them? Oh, JFK. Wasn't 5 meant to assassinate him? oh, Allison. Oh, she's in 1963 too. No, Vanya even, not Allison, Vanya. Whoa. You triggered a whoa. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. That is even cooler. That is even cooler. Oh, he summoned the dead soldiers. He summoned dead soldiers. Oh.
I heard a rumor that I blew your mind.
Oh, again, shoot himself in the face. Nope, just oh, damn, she can do that.
Those are nukes, old timer.
Nukes? Oh, nukes. So this can't be the. Did they have the nukes back in the 60s? Again, history, bad brain. Holy crap. Well, that's one way to open it. Oh, it's an umbrella. It's an actual umbrella cover. Yeah. That's one way to open a season.
Dead?
Yeah.
Cancer.
Oh, Agnes. Oh. She made donuts. Oh.
We had 20 good years together. I guess forever just wasn't in the cards.
Oh. She was so sweet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hazel.
Run!
Oh, Hazel! Who are these guys? Are they with the agency too? Is this some kind of cleanup job? Tying up loose ends?
Hi, I'm selling encyclopedias for my youth group. I was curious if...
Yes. What is that?
How'd you do
Scalpel?
Don't really have time to explain. Sensitive.
Yeah, cried a lot. Kept coming back to the alley. He sat around for hours.
Yeah,
What was his
Luther.
name?
Luther.
Allison. Luther. Mugshot looked like arrival number 4.
Diego.
Diego.
That isn't really defining yourself, is it, Diego?
Yeah, why don't you tell that to Luke Skywalker?
Oh, those movies aren't out yet. No. Those
He was
movies aren't out
good.
yet.
I don't know.
How did he end up here?
I guess I've never known.
Is it to do with the time
Maybe to
periods?
find out.
Like a rise in mental health stigma or something? I don't know.
Just take it one day at a time, okay?
He didn't do
You don't understand. They're going to kill the president a week from today.
Oh, he saw the JFK thing, so they think he's crazy.
Yeah, it's for assholes who think they're
This
actual
paranoid
heroes.
fantasy
about president?
Bacon.
Whoa, bacon
Without the lunchroom.
in her shoe? It's gotta be stale by now.
Nuclear war, Diego. 10 days.
They're gonna end up locking 5 in here too.
And I'm the one they locked up. Fine, I'll play along. What causes it?
I don't know. Maybe some Looney Tuned asshole with a hero complex tried to save the president and screwed everything up.
So you're saying it worked? I saved the president.
And then he triggered a war.
I'll help you.
Thank God.
After I save Kennedy. And then you send us back a few decades so I can slay Hitler.
This is why you don't have any friends.
Oh, this is ambitious.
Guard.
This is a very ambitious Diego. So if Kennedy lives, then he triggers a war?
We just need to get busy making you some new ones, hmm?
She seems nicer, outside of the car.
Remember when I told you the engine was overheating? Yeah, well, being smart doesn't make you interesting. Neither does your beard.
Oh,
You know it would
jeez.
help if I knew where we were
All white
going,
too,
Mysterio? Back to Dallas. That
He looks
far.
like a gay
How long?
Jesus. I dig it.
Beeswax. Really?
You lost, boy?
Thirsty, actually.
This has Joseph Seed written all over it. All over it. Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5.
Garcon.
Yeah.
There once was a young buck from Dallas who sported a miniature phallus.
Tell you what. You're so cocky. What say we up the stakes? Kings over sevens.
Oh, well, that's not nothing.
Ben, yo, you little shit.
Fair's fair, you win.
Oh, you little shit. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Oh, no.
Press Secretary Pierre Salinger responded by saying, "We made the papers, baby."
And here's the best part. You're gonna love this. And I quote.
Of one man or woman are threatened.
She can talk
I
again.
bought the last 3 copies this morning at Coleman's.
She can talk again. Oh,
I'm the
Allison.
luckiest man in Dallas.
Is that right?
She can talk again. She's got the scar, but she's
The
healed.
most beautiful.
Oh, damn. Oh, she is glowing. She is
What?
glowing. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's got the flip kicks. It's got the flip kicks. Oh. Ugh. Oh, he snapped his arm. He fully snapped his arm. Oh. Oh, Luther. And this guy approves. This guy approves. The man in the suit approves.
Bring the car around. Attaboy.
So he fights, but he gets the money? How does that work?
Have a good night.
Oh, his foot's in the fucking door. Son of a bitch.
Did you just deliberately shut this door on my foot, boy? That's assault.
Oh, she's got him. She's got him. She's got him. That's self-defense. That's self-defense.
I hope that felt good.
You have no idea.
Yeah. And I'd pay to see it again.
There's a coffee can hidden under the kitchen sink. Every penny I saved that Carl doesn't know about goes in there. Why? Music, dresses, the smells. All the ladies at the counters look like living dolls. Still do.
Damn.
Could you ever imagine being that elegant? You're plenty elegant.
Oh, he's in a straitjacket and a padded cell. Shit. Oh, he's really gonna screw the pooch this time. Oh, he's good. He is good. You can lock him up in all this and he'll still get out. He will still get out. God damn. Oh, the milkman. No, we saw the milkman at the beginning. He was getting eyeballed up by the shooter dudes. It's gotta be one of them. Oh. No. Oh, very bad. Very, very bad. They have to be from the agency. Because JFK assassination has to go down, and he's the one trying to stop it. Yeah. Nuh-uh. Run, run, run. Oh, God. No, they're terrible shots. Thank God they're terrible shots. Oh. Oh, she's good. She's good. Okay.
Where'd you learn how to fight like that?
My mother?
Cool. Gonna need a bit of a history lesson on that, but cool. Nonetheless, cool. Very cool.
We should do business, Jack.
But he's getting there.
I could get
That's
you
Carl.
some good share.
He's at a strip club.
We okay here?
He's not a very
I'm
fine
not
man
worried
after
about the
all.
kid. I told him we don't allow minors.
Oh, yeah?
5.
What
5
did
is
he
at a
say?
strip club too?
He asked what time I was getting off work.
No, he's a 52-year-old dude inside a 13-year-old's body.
She's too young for you.
We have to find the others because the world ends again in 10 days. I have no idea how to stop it.
What do? You stop Diego from assassinating JFK?
I don't give a shit.
Oh, he's at peace with the world ending. Living his own stuff. Okay, that is the end of that episode. Okay, alright. Okay, that was a very, very interesting season premiere. That was an interesting one. So everyone got dropped off separately then. I thought, I thought that they'd actually end up, I thought, watching the trailer, I knew that, they all had separate lives, and that they all went to different places, but I didn't know they'd end up in different times. I didn't know they'd actually end up, just landing in the same spot 1 year after the other. But yeah, no, they actually did that. That is actually what happened. I thought whatever happened, but then something just made them kind of split paths or go separate ways, and they all ended up going to different people and meeting different people and stuff. But yeah, the time thing, I didn't realize that's what would make them go that way. Huh. Okie dokie then. Okay, so I didn't jot down the exact dates for Vanya and 5, but Klaus and Ben landed in Texas in 19... Well, no, they all landed in the same place. They all landed in the same alleyway, in the same place, just at different times, just different years. So Klaus and Ben landed in 1960, Allison in 61, Luther in 62, Diego, Vanya, and 5 in 63, except for 5, he transported straight ahead to the next apocalypse, to the next world, to the next war, which, I don't know, it presumably would have, I don't know if it would have been a world war, but it was definitely like an apocalypse triggering more like a nuclear apocalypse. So, yeah, but I think Allison's one was the saddest. Allison's one caught me off guard the most, her walking into a place, just wondering, what to do, where she was, just looking for help, and then, the guy just points to the sign on the wall saying, no whites, whites only, and it's like, oh no, this is a very, very bad, very not good kind of time for Allison. But yeah, that one broke my heart. But yeah, and then Vanya just, lands in the middle of the road and she just gets hit by a car, and then, sometime later she's moved in with the woman, the angelic woman who hit her with the car. She's actually moved in, she's helping to babysit the kid, I think, Harlan, which I don't know how that works. I mean, yeah, I don't know how that works, but that's she met her. She met Sissy the woman. Has a son who doesn't seem to talk very much. So she's helping to babysit him. So that's cool. That's their story. Yeah, Klaus and Ben have each other. I mean, Ben's the only one. Klaus is the only one that Ben can see. That can see Ben. So it's kind of clear that they have each other in that regard. But yeah, he looks like, I think I remember watching the trailer. He starts like a cult or something. He starts a cult. So I mean, I don't know if they mentioned San Francisco. I don't know if they actually started one in San Francisco and left it, or if that's something completely different. But I know, from the trailer, he actually does start a cult. To whom he tells that the apocalypse comes in a few decades time. So. Yeah, but he has this whole Joseph Seed. As soon as he walked into the bar, I just got Joseph Seed vibes. He has that the hair tied back and the beard and a little bun, a little tail, and he's got that whole topless kind of white trench coat thing going on, like a gay Jesus and stuff. So that was cool. But he's doing his own thing, and he stole a car, and then the guy called the cops on him, and then he got arrested. So he was doing that. And then him and Ben had some issues of their own. Him and Ben had some kind of, conflicting opinions on existence and who needs who and all that kind of stuff. So to the point where Ben lied to him and tricked him into thinking the other guy had the bluff so he'd lose all of his money and stuff. So that was funny. I think it seems like Ben and Klaus's interactions in season 1 is definitely like one of the highlights for me. It's one of the highlights. So I'm looking forward to seeing how their relationship is expanded upon in this season. But that was cool. So Klaus and Ben, and then Allison in 61, and she's part of like a communal group and like a community gathering group, and they're fighting racism on one front and the JFK thing on the other side. Yeah, my history knowledge on JFK is not the best. Not the best. So I had to. I mean, yeah, I think historically speaking, because like the JFK thing seems to be the next apocalypse trigger in this. Like, you know, Diego lands in 63, and the first thing he does is rescue to stop a mugger from stealing a woman's purse, and then the next thing he finds out is that JFK is alive still. The JFK is alive. So then obviously anyone who knows JFK knows that he was assassinated, and it was one of the pivotal turning points in U.S. history. So he knows that, you know, if he's alive, that means he hasn't been assassinated yet, but then that means it's going to happen. So, you know, he sees it as his own moral duty to try and protect and, you know, keep JFK alive and prevent his assassination. But then the issue comes in when he starts jabbering on about it, when he tells the police and everything, and they just don't believe that, you know, they don't believe some rando off the street that the President of the United States is going to die in a few days' time. And stuff like that. So then he gets institutionalized and he gets into a mental hospital, and yeah, so he's not letting it go. He's still kind of, you know, he knows it's gonna happen, but you know, he's not really like, he's not accepting the fact that he's not really accepting the fact that other people may not believe him as much, because it sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory. It sounds like a crazy theory, and he can't afford to, you know, have the kind of pettiness where he just, you know, proves them all wrong by letting JFK die anyway, because then he'll be like, oh yeah, I told you, and you just get me locked up in here. Yeah, he doesn't have that kind of that level of pettiness. Yeah, so he was, and that knowledge, I think what I love about it is that knowledge, like his knowledge of JFK being assassinated, and his kind of clairvoyancy in that subject, kind of led him to be like, oh, once he gets out of there, he's gonna go even further back in time with 5, and he's gonna kill Hitler. He's gonna kill Hitler himself. He's gonna protect JFK from being assassinated, and then he's gonna go be the assassin of Adolf Hitler. So he's got ambition. Knowing all this stuff, he's got ambition, which I don't know if they did, but if they didn't, I would have loved to see them mention it in season 1, like him being like, oh, like, so you could time travel, and the first thing you did is go to the future, like you couldn't just go back in time and, you know, save JFK or assassinate Hitler or something. I don't know if they did mention it back in season 1, but if they did, then that would have been cool. And then, you know, seeing it come to fruition now, like, you know, Diego is sent back in time, and he gets the opportunity to protect the president way back when, and then he goes back even further and kills a fascist. So yeah, he's ambitious, but his ambition got him locked away and judged by the rest of society. So that was that. And he met Leah there too. He met Leah, who's also a lone wolf like him, and she seems like a fun character. Seems fun. They both escaped together. But yeah, I think that whole thing reminded me of Legion. I think I haven't seen very much of Legion, but I've seen enough to know that, you know, that there was David and there was the other girl that he was interested in, and there was a thing between them. So like that kind of dynamic was what that reminded me of in this show. So look forward to that. Now they've both escaped. Look forward to seeing how they embrace the outside world once again after having been locked up for however long. I think he was in there for 73 days. I think he said. Was it 73? I think he's 73, yeah, so yeah. So yeah, that was that. But yeah, no, this new apocalypse is triggered by JFK not being assassinated. So yeah, I think that has to tie into history. That has to tie into actual historical accuracy somehow. Like, you know, him not dying must trigger some more political tensions and political unrest among different countries, because then the Soviets came in and they started blowing shit up. The Soviets came in, they were like, nope, JFK has to die, this is all wrong. And they started attacking the US. So yeah, that side of things has to definitely be some political accuracy stuff going on, which or historical accuracy stuff going on, which I may just have to look into JFK's assassination and look into more of what it means for the rest of the world. But then obviously the Umbrella Academy is there too. Like basically the entire team is there. Basically the entire team. We had Vanya just blowing open a rocket upon impact before it even impacted her, and then we had Luther jumping down and taking out people, and we had Klaus summoning Ben and using well, no, not even Ben, like Klaus summoning dead American soldiers to take out the Soviets, and then we had Ben still using his powers, but he had summoned Ben. Vanya had used her rumors to literally blow dudes' minds. I thought when she said that, I thought she was gonna be like, I heard a rumor that you blew your minds, and I thought they were just gonna get their guns and shoot themselves in the face, but no, their heads literally exploded. So that was new. And then of course Diego's dodging bullets and retracting them and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so then that war is triggered. The war is triggered, and on the ground, the Umbrella Academy is holding their own. They're definitely holding their own. But then in terms of the air, the nukes are incoming. So nuclear war was apparently possible in the 60s. Again, my history, not a very historical, it's historically accurate brain that I've got. But yeah, apparently nuclear war was possible in the 60s, and they unleashed it all on the US and triggered yet another apocalypse, which, yeah, I mean, they took out that. Does that still mean that they took out the world if they just fired it on the US? I mean, again, because then again, that would depend. If it's a world war, then we see it there because the Umbrella Academy is in the US, the kids are in the US, so they're there. But then the rest of the world may be under the same kind of fire if that's what's happening. But I don't know. But yeah, so JFK's death is a fixed point in time. So yeah, JFK's death is a fixed point in time, and him being alive means that the Soviets apparently see that as some kind of threat, and they wage war on the US, and the nukes trigger yet another massive umbrella cloud explosion. That was nice. I love their title cards. I love this show's title cards and how creative they get with those. Like I said, like it goes from a mushroom cloud and then transforms and flattens and curves out into a nice like umbrella cloud, which was really well done. So yeah, that was all very, very cool and done. And Hazel showed up again. Hazel, he was an older man now. He was a very, very older man, like nearing the end of his life. And Agnes, the love of his life, Agnes, the old lady who made donuts and stuff every day in the last season that he fell in love with. She's gone to cancer. Cancer took her away from him, and then he died. He was murdered by the gunman. So hopefully now, wherever they are, Hazel and Agnes are together. Hazel turned out to be a good guy in the end. Cha-Cha is dead. She was wiped out by the flames. She's dead. But Hazel and Agnes, wherever they are, hopefully they're together. They were sweet. So yeah, but yeah, the gunman. I don't know who. I think they must be from the agency. They have to be from the agency. I can't remember if it's actually called the agency or if there was. I think I vaguely remember there being another name for it. Besides from the agency, but they were the ones responsible for making sure that time flowed as it was supposed to. I believe. Yeah, I think so because they did send orders to manipulate time to make sure that it flowed a certain way. But whether or not that was the right way, I can't remember. Because 5 he was recruited when he was actually accurately 50-year-old man, and he was recruited by the handler, played by Kate Walsh, and she hired him and enlisted his aid to keep doing that stuff, and then he became like a time assassin. And yeah, no, I remember last season his job. He was meant to assassinate John F. Kennedy, right? Yeah, I remember that was the last mission he took before he returned. He was actually over the fence with like a sniper rifle and everything. He had the gun ready to. He was meant to assassinate JFK to make sure that happened. But then he changed his mind, and then he opened up a time breach and then jumped through, and that's when he landed back at the Hargreaves mansion. That's when he landed back there. So he was the original assassin, I think. I don't know. I think he might have been. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, because then that would mean that maybe in that timeline he was meant to make sure that it happened, or. I don't know, I remember him being there at the assassination. He had a sniper rifle of his own, so I think he was meant to kill JFK, but then that didn't happen, but then he just travelled back in time. But then, Yeah, but then him not doing it, maybe I don't know. I don't know if like him doing it would have changed anything. Maybe it was because the assassin was I remember seeing old news articles about the assassin being captured and or killed. Like the guy killed himself or he was killed by police or something. But they found the guy who did it. They actually did find the assassin. Again, this is all stuff I have to look back up again. This is all a history lesson I have to retake. But yeah. So then I wonder if if 5 having done it in the future, in the past, had he done it, if that would have changed anything. Because with this one, Diego's plan was to actually, he was actually going to go kill the guy who did it. So so they found the guy. He knew who the guy was. So he was going to go do it. But then they captured him and they locked him away because of all the gibberish he was talking. So yeah. Huh. Okay. So the plan now. So 5 has found. Who has he found? He found Diego. And he went against Diego's thing. He told the guards to lock Diego up for some extra time because he was gonna kill the assassin anyway. So he was gonna trigger the apocalypse. And then he found Luther. He found Luther too. Luther didn't care. Luther did not care. He's like I couldn't care less. I could not give less of a shit. So he didn't care about a second apocalypse coming. And even worse with this one, 5 doesn't know how to stop it. 5 doesn't know how to stop it. Like the original one, he actually had like an idea on how to stop it and how to go about stopping it. But with this one, he doesn't know what to do. So one person is the trigger. One of his siblings is going to trigger the apocalypse, and the other one doesn't care enough to stop it. He's living his own life, and I think that's a really, really interesting character arc to explore with this season. Actually, seeing not only is it the fact that they all get separated, but then they're all forced to move on with their lives. They're all forced to move on with their lives. They all find and meet different people. They all, kind of have to readjust to living in a time period that's very, very different, and in some cases very, very oppositional to their own time period and to their own kind of life. So I think that's a really interesting thing to explore. Because I think, like 60s, I don't really get good vibes from 60s. I mean, from Alison's introduction moment, I don't get very many good vibes from the 60s. Alison, one of the first things she experiences right off the bat is racism, one of the first things. And Vanya gets hit by a car, but she ends up okay anyway because she didn't really suffer any major injuries, and she befriended she actually, got to know the woman here. She got to know Sissy, and she's now helping her look after her son now too. And Carl, the husband, he's a bad husband. He's going off to strip clubs when he's in and lying and saying he's going to the office and stuff. So, now Vanya's going to treat Sissy right. That's how I envision this going. The truth is in some way going to spin out, and Sissy's going to find out the truth that he's been going out and ogling other women. When he has a wife at home, and Sissy's going to tell him that she deserves better than him, and then they're going to go right off into the sunset together with Harlan. And yeah, I don't know if that's how any of this is going to go. But I mean, they seem to become fairly close friends since she hit her with the car. So I'd argue that they do have a positive journey ahead of them. But yeah, that was Vanya. So yeah, again, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, like how their journeys actually differ, how their journeys different, how they actually approach this new apocalypse coming. That's going to happen. So yeah, so they brought the concept of the did they bring the apocalypse back with them though? Because they didn't. Because the original one was to do with Vanya's powers going haywire. It was to do with that. But this new one is to do with Diego discovering that he's in a time and a place where John F. Kennedy is still alive, and he makes that conscious decision to try and save him. Yeah, this new apocalypse is triggered by JFK not being assassinated. So like, the concept of the apocalypse has been brought back, but not the exact same apocalypse. It's like a nuclear apocalypse now, but yeah, I don't know. It's still somewhat like the same thing, but yeah, so it's like a complete new one. It's one caused by historical meddling. Yeah, it's one caused by historical meddling. So yeah, we'll see. I guess we will see what happens happens there, and I think Diego is probably going to tell Leah that he is going to that his plan is to save JFK, and that he gets assassinated and all that stuff, and Leah's going to think he's crazy. But she like, knowing her, she's probably, I mean, I say knowing her, we haven't really known her for very long, but still knowing her for the briefest moments, I'd say she's not really going to believe him, but she's going to tag along for the fun of it anyway. She's just going to see what he gets up to, who he meets, what he does, and she's just going to tag along anyway because she probably just doesn't really have anyone else that she can trust or go to, so she's going to stick with Diego for the time being. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's that. Allison, she talks again. Allison talks again. I did not see that one coming. I don't remember her talking in the trailer. No, I don't remember it. It's probably because my memory, again, shit for brains memory. But yeah, no, you can still see the scar. The scar is still there. The bandage and everything is, the plaster and the bandage and everything is gone off, but the scar is still there. You can still see the scar, but she can talk again. She's healed. She's actually healed. So it took time, likely, and I don't know what else could have happened. I mean, she met someone new. She met like a new guy, fell in love with him, and married him. So I don't know if he could have pulled some strings and got something. I mean, I doubt that. Because I think in this time and place, I think it's probably not going to be very likely that happens. But either way, whatever happens, she's been healed. She can actually talk again. I love hearing her voice again. And she seems really, really happy with him too, so that's cool. And she's even defending herself. From racist, snobby dickbags. So racist, nosy dickbags. The guys that don't even own the building and still want to stick their noses in people's private business and stuff. So yeah, so she fought back and just knocked him back out to the streets. So that was cool to see. But she's living she's living her own new life, and I think it's good to see that despite what's happening in this time period, despite what kind of year and political climate she's in, she still managed to find some sense of love. She still managed to find herself someone that she's happy with and someone who loves her and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I'm kind of eager to see what Luther's reaction is to that. If they're like when they all do reunite and stuff. But on the other hand, I'm still happy for Allison. I'm still happy she found someone. So yeah, and I think especially in this kind of time, you'd want to stick with people who love you and who treasure you and see you for you and stuff. So yeah, so it's why they've got their own little community gathering in the beauty parlor where she works. So that's cool. But yeah, Allison talks again. She's talking again. I want to hear her sing. I want to see how extensive her voice, her vocal capabilities are, if she can sing. I'm hoping we can get an episode where Allison sings just to get that kind of confirmation. But we'll see. We will see. Then we had the photograph guy, Elliot something. He was a salesman originally, and then stuff happened, and then he lost that too. He turned into a conspiracy theorist. He saw each and every one. He saw the energy signatures from inside when the portal first opened, and then when he went up to the window, he saw Klaus having teleported and landed in the alleyway. So he saw that, and then every year after that, for a few years, he actually saw as everyone else, repeatedly landed in the same alleyway, one year after the other. So he kind of went all conspiracy crazy with that kind of stuff. And I think he said Eleanor left him or something. Yeah, like Eleanor left him. I think it's like a wife or whoever. She left him because he was going crazy with it. And then he meets Five, who's a teleporter. So that kind of confirms his theory that he's an alien and stuff. But he's been keeping. He's useful. He is useful. He has all this information, all these pictures and the news articles and all this other stuff linking all these these different strangers who just annually teleported the same place 1 year after the other. So yeah, he's useful. So I'm wondering how exactly he's going to tie into all this. I think he's just going to be like the informational guy. He's going to be the guy with the news and information that Five goes to for more info. And I think he's definitely going to use him to track. He's definitely going to use that guy to track the others, to track the rest of the family and stuff. Because he's found Luther and Diego so far, so he needs to track down the rest of them and inform them of the newfound apocalypse. So that's going to be fun. so that's that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got from this season premiere. It was a fun one. It was a long one and a fun one. They packed a lot of stuff into it, gave us some good introductions as to where everyone is now, in terms of how they landed and when they landed, and also how they moved on. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that gets expanded. And I think Alison's story I'm eager to see, especially in Vanya's story too. Vanya's and just everyone's. But I think in particular like Vanya and Alison, just seeing how they actually go forward with all the stuff. Because I think they seem to be the ones who seem to have moved on the most, like in the most kind of stable kind of ways. Like Diego just escaped a mental asylum, a mental hospital. He was in a straitjacket and everything, and he escaped from all that. And then Luther is just living a life being like he's a fighter. I think he definitely like a fighter of some sort. But he's got that. I think I was surprised to see no one was he wasn't facing any backlash for that. He looks like an ape. He's got that kind of ape skin and the hair going on. So I was surprised to see that no one was ridiculing that. But then I don't know if he makes up for it with being like he kind of makes up for it. He makes up for it by being such a good fighter. That even the guy in the suit, his manager or whatever, his boss, who gets all the money that he wins, he just kind of cares about him being a good fighter. He doesn't care how he looks or what he has or anything. But the fact that he has more muscle, the fact that he can actually fight back harder because of it, is what matters more maybe. So he seems to be just kind of living that kind of life. He doesn't really seem stable. He doesn't really look like it's everything he wants to be doing, but he looks like he's actually, he's doing what he can do and what he has to do to move on. Because I think Elliot did say that, for a certain amount of time, they would all go back into the alley. Like, they would all come back to the same spot that they came through to see if the portal would open again, to see if they could actually, find each other again. But no, it never actually happened. So I mean, if they did that, then surely it would have had to work. Because Klaus and Ben landed first in 1960, and then Allison landed in 1961. So it would get. No, it wouldn't work. Because I think it would depend. Because it would depend on how long they did it for. If they did it before that year was up, because they all landed a year apart. From if they stopped going back before that year came to fruition, then they would never find each other. They wouldn't know how long it would take before they actually landed again. So they wouldn't know to wait around and to keep coming back for an entire year. So they all moved on after that. But I think in terms of stability and happiness, I'd say definitely has to be Vanya and Allison having moved on with their lives, having found new people, having found kind of new love and everything. Their stories are the ones I'm kind of eager to find out more about and eager to see be explored and developed and stuff. But Klaus and Ben, they're in jail now. They tried to steal a truck and it didn't work, and they got caught for it. And then Five. He's trying to find everyone. He's trying to inform the apocalypse, but nothing's really going to plan. So we'll see how this stuff goes. But that was a fun episode. Looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season has to offer. But that's pretty much all I've got from this episode. That's pretty much all I got from this premiere. So let me know what you guys thought. And so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming next time on the Umbrella Academy. If you guys want the uncut reaction to watch along with, then that will be up on Patreon, so you can do that out there. And that's it. So I will see you guys next time.